Hello, 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 everyone. Just fixing some issues here. Presentation. Just a few minutes, guys, please. Okay. So, guys, again, welcome. All right. So, if you're preparing for the IELTS, TOEFL, PTE, or SAT, especially the speaking section, you're absolutely in the right place today. Okay. We'll be talking about some speaking strategies, speaking. And today is about IELTS speaking part one. All right. Right. Let me just share my screen again. Share. Here we go. So, before we kick off here, let me ask you something honestly. All right? Guys, have you ever started speaking part one test feeling confident? All right? But halfway through the test, you felt your confidence drop or left the exam perhaps thinking, my English is good, so why wasn't my score? Right? Yes, guys, this is normal. That's why today I'm going to show you exactly why. Why first impressions in speaking are psychological, not just grammatical, right? So it's not just related to grammar or vocab or even sentence structure, right? So, and more importantly, guys, you're going to understand how examiners form opinions in the first second seconds, okay? And why some students sound fluent immediately and others no, and how you can actually activate that same effect. All right? So let's go, guys. Let's get the party started. So the psychology of a high band first impression. So why the first second seconds can determine your entire IELTS speaking score and how to master that crucial moment. Are you ready? All right. So let's kick off. So first, right, of course, if you don't know me, if you're here for the first time, welcome again. So my name is Gisele Figueiredo, founder of Connect You Academy and creator of this channel, the Score Boost Formula. So I've been helping students break through IELTS band 7 plus, PTE 7, 9 plus, 17, 9 plus, SAT, improve their SAT and TOEFL scores as well, right? So, and also help my students become confident, right? And speak naturally under pressure, because these tests are actually all about pressure, right? So, what I teach practical strategies, brain based learning. What is this, right, teacher? Brain based learning. This is really important, okay? It's training your brain. This is the key. How do you train your brain, right? To understand the test, to answer questions. This is actually the secret let's say, and I teach this to my students. And of course, what I teach, real test logic, not just tips. Okay. So that's how I prepare my students. And I've been doing this for more than 8 years now. And I have lots of wonderful, a bunch of results. Okay. So my students don't just learn English, they rewire how they perform in exam. So they understand. Okay. Lots of hidden information. Let's say like this. All right. So this is me. You can also follow me on Instagram, right? LinkedIn, and also here on YouTube to follow up my lives every Friday. All right? Every Friday. So there are some new things coming up soon, very soon. And you will love these new, let's say, adventures. All right, so let's go, guys. Let's get the party started. So, the truth, nobody tells you. Let me just see something here. So, guys, look, I've been telling you this, right, for a while, since the beginning of my lives here, IELTS lives. The thing is, it's not just IELTS speaking part one, but of course, right, we have some other tasks, especially listening, also reading. They are not just about English. Right? You already know that, right? So, of course, you need to know some vocab, right? Every band has got its own, let's say, range of vocab you need to know, right? So, of course, you need to know grammar in order to come up with correct sentences. And of course, your pronunciation should be clear, right? The examiner must, let's say, understand you perfectly, right? Of course, you know that. But these tests, IELTS, TOEFL, PTE, they also test your confidence, okay? Your mental organization and your communication psychology, okay? It's not just about English. Uh, let's say you know English pretty well, right? Or you know some English. Let's say let's talk about that. You're a pre-intermediate level student. Okay, I have lots of students like this, but you are not confident enough, right, to speak. This happens. This is okay, right? However, let me tell you something. A pre-intermediate level student is more than able to communicate with people. Do you know that? Of course, using simple sentences, simple vocab. But if this pre-intermediate level student knows how to come up with correct sentences using correct structure, and if this pre-intermediate level is confident, this guy knows how to organize his thoughts, he's able to communicate with people. People can understand this student. He's able to talk, to engage, of course, with limited vocab, okay? But this doesn't matter. This person can communicate, okay? However, look at this. If you show off these organization, right? If you show off, for instance, you're nervous or something like this, not only the listener will observe this, but also the examiner, right? So the examiner actually asks these questions. Does this person sound mentally clear? Clear. So you should be clear. See? Do they sound comfortable expressing ideas? Comfortable, guys. It's like you were talking to a friend, you're chatting, right? With a friend. Imagine always that the speaking test itself, not only part one, but let's talk about part one, is the time It's the time for you to show off this uh, fluency. This is how you will speak with a person in your own language, calmly, right? Sentence after sentence. You can express your ideas, you're comfortable, you're clear, right? So then this examiner may ask as well, do they respond like a real communicator, right? A person who is able to give his or her message, right? And these guys, these judgment happens in under 30 seconds, maximum 60, right? 60 seconds. So this is the first impression. If you are there like nervous or something like this, you can't relax, you can't speak properly, right? You are not clear. So this might be a huge problem for you throughout the whole test, right? Moving forward. There's a thing here important I forgot to mention. So even if you improve later in the test, okay, this happens as well. You may start the test like messing everything around, but and also improve later. But even if you do that, your first impression becomes your reference point for the entire assessment. Okay, so that's why it's important to practice. We will be talking about this as well. So we have the three psychological filters. So what are those, teacher? Let's go over them. Uh, Psychology shows that when a person answers with organization, okay, organization means what? Your sentence must be well structured, your thoughts as well. Sounds emotionally calm, right? Emotionally calm, relaxed. Also uses natural expressions because this is the time in this section is the time where you can use natural expressions. You can bring about sentences with phrasal verbs, right? Some idioms. You can also bring some feelers. You'll learn them furthermore. And also, the most importantly, I would say this person avoids robotic delivery. Guys, I told you before as well, the examiners know when you memorize questions, when you memorize answers and you sound like a robot, right? So, guys, and these, when you show off, okay, organization, you're emotionally calm, natural expressions, and that you just don't sound like a robot, the listener, okay, doesn't matter again whether the listener is the examiner or another person, okay, so this person automatically assumes higher intelligence, higher language control, and higher fluency, okay. So the person understands, in other words, okay, that okay, this guy knows English. All right. So fluency is perceived before it is measured. Okay. So the person understands that you're fluent in English before the person, this is a grammar mistake, or the person doesn't know this word, whatever it is. No. This is all about your confidence. Okay. So when you were teaching, for example, presentation skills, okay, people are normally afraid, right, of speaking in public. And presentation, I have an entire course, right, about presentation skills. And we talk about this. For example, you may not know everything about the topic, right? But you have that confidence, right, that shows off. I know what I'm talking about. So this is what matters. People will listen to you. Of course, we're talking about posture as well. Maybe I'll bring something related to this as well to our lives, right? Because this is all related. Not only your confidence while you're speaking, but also the way you speak, the way you sit down on the chair, right? Your gestures, your posture. So everything is connected, right? To show off this confidence we're talking about. So let's talk about these now. Band 6 versus band 7 plus, right? And I want you to please analyze these answers, okay? To point out the differences. And you can see that the difference is pretty clear, all right? Of course, again, when we're talking about bands, right? See that a band 6 student, 5.5, right, to 6 will be a pre-intermediate level, okay? So to 6 to 7, you need to show off better grammar. So you're there between pre-intermediate and intermediate level. 7 plus, you really need an intermediate level completed to reach 7 and 7.5, right? So when it goes to more than that, of course, you need upper intermediate level and advanced level, right? So band 6 answer, let's take a look at this example. Question is, do you work or study, right? This is actually a very common question, but let's talk about this. Do you work or study? So band 6 says, I study business. It's very important, right? This is band 6. Yeah. It's very important for my future. I like it. Okay. Was this person able to convey their message? Yes, right? You can understand what the person said. That's what I told you. A pre-intermediate level is able to communicate. See, this is a pre-intermediate level answer, for instance, because a pre-intermediate level student speaks sentence by sentence after sentence, right? So this person is able to do that, and the listener is able to understand. However, this answer is not enough for a band 7 plus, because you need to show off more structure, right? More control, better words, better connectors, right? And also, you can't be so short like that. It's very important for my future. So why? In which sense you talk about that? This is too vague, right? I study business. You actually uh, repeat the question. As you know, you should bring about a different sentence, like paraphrasing, changing a little bit here and there, right? And I like it. So if you say that's very important for my future, obviously I would say you like it, right? But like is also too normal, right? So no personality, right? No fluency in minimal development. That's what we see here. So when it comes to a 7 plus answer for this question, let's take a look. Would be something like, I'm currently studying business administration because I've always been interested in how companies grow. And I hope to work in the international market in the future. See? So here the person brings more ideas, right? This person is more confident because this person is bringing adverbs. I'm currently studying business administration because, see, not to mention that the person brought also the present perfect tense. I've always been interested in how companies grow. The person connects the sentences with because and I hope to work in the international market in the future. See, this answer is so interesting and so easy to come up with. See, the person said, I'm currently studying, right? Do you work or study? Answer the question immediately. I'm currently studying this. Why? Because of this. And I hope to do that. So this person uses the future, right, to bring more details. And this is a very interesting strategy, right, to expand your answers. So you can bring the past. Okay, so it's smooth and you see the confidence, right? So but where is the confidence, teacher? What is this, right, guys? It's the way you speak, actually, right? So when the person asks, do you work or study? So you may, relax a little bit. Well, you know I'm currently studying business administration because I've always been interested in how companies grow. And I hope to work in the international market in the future. See, you have emotion, you respect the punctuation, you respect the flow of the sentences. You may bring a well, see. So you may pause a little bit, right, if you will, but not too much. See, because if you pause too much, it's like you're ending your sentence, and that's not the case. We can't finish the sentence in the middle, right? So the fillers, these guys, well, these guys help you actually come up with ideas, all right, while speaking. So band 6 answer and band 7 plus answer. Remember, 6 a pre-intermediate level, 7 plus an intermediate to upper intermediate level. But again, a band 6 is able to communicate. See, it's able to give the message. All right. Let's go to the next slide. So here we have the first 5 seconds rule. Okay, your opening words set everything in motion. So let's go. Weak openings. Weak openings. Let's talk about the weak openings. Uh, these create psychological weakness from the start. Okay, this is from the start. If the person asks you, do you study? And you say, mm, yeah, see, no, this is bad, right? You're showing off actually no English at all. You don't know what to say. If you just say yes alone, it's also considered another issue. Okay? The person says, do you like reading? Yes. So, yes, alone is a middle school answer. Even though, right, you learn, yes, I do, right? But the person, actually, the student normally says yes. Guys, if you pay attention to the native speakers, actually they say, yes, I do. No, I don't. Okay? It's not just yes, not just no. Or instead of yes and no, they say other things such as absolutely, no way, right? So that's what you need to learn, okay, while you're studying, while you're preparing yourself for the test. You need to learn different expressions, okay, to say instead of yes alone. I think, guys, I think it's a very bad way to start, right, to answer a question, especially in part one. I think, reading is good. I think. There are some students of mine, they are always saying, I think. They always say, I think, I think, I think. See, I need to tell them constantly, don't say that, I think. So how do they say, right? I think. They answer the question, let's say, do you like reading? Yes, I do, I think. So why I think? Well, I think it's not a good idea, guys. Forget about I think. Okay? So give your answer directly, and that's okay. So if you do those kind of things, the examiner will actually instantly understand that this person is nervous, this candidate is not prepared. Because, see, guys, part one is all about you, yourself. It's all about questions, personal questions. So think with me. If you start like this, if you don't know how to respond, personal questions, so how are you going to respond the rest? So here, what you're learning today is what are the strong openings. See, this shows off confidence and fluency, such as actually, I wasn't a big fan of reading before, but now, see, to be honest, reading is not so important for me, but and then you bring more ideas. Well, I would say that I'm passionate about reading because of this and that. So, my goodness, teachers, but yeah, do I need it to come up with these strong openings? Yes, because this is how the guys speak, this is how these native guys communicate, because they are relaxed. See, I bet, see, while you were speaking with the person in your own language, you use this kind of words, because I do that as well. So you're not going to believe, right? So that's how you communicate. You are not a robot, right? Just to drop sentences. No, you don't do this on a daily basis. So how would you do this while speaking English? So I always tell my students, think about chatting with your friends in your own language. So that's how you behave. Okay? So these phrases help you sound natural, confident, and fluent. Exactly what examiners respond to positively. Okay? So moving forward. More real examples, mastering the first impression. Let's talk about those. So examiner asks, do you like your hometown? Band 6 says, yes, I like my hometown. Repeat everything, right? Again, remember, guys, IELTS, TOEFL, it's all about paraphrasing. So always think about that. Keep this in mind. You'll never repeat the question. Okay, you need to come up with something different. It is very good and quiet. Good and quiet. Yeah. Ben 7 plus would say, yes, I really enjoy. So, okay, instead of really enjoy, yes, I enjoy living here. I adore living here. By the way, I don't like this really, okay? So let's get rid of this really. So instead of really, let's say, yes, I enjoy. Yes, I adore. See? So let's go. Yes, I adore. I enjoy living there because it's peaceful. The people are friendly and it gives me a strong sense of belonging. Look at these guys. Look at this structure. Yes, I enjoy. Yes, I adore. As in, yes, I do, right? But instead of yes, I do, yes, I enjoy, yes, I adore. I adore this because of this and that. Guys, this structure because of this and that works all the time because you give two reasons why you like or dislike something. See? You give a personal opinion, your personal feelings, and you bring about feelings here, friendly, sense of belonging. This shows, of course, emotional connection. I always tell my students this as well. Look, show off emotions. See, while you were talking to somebody, don't you do that? Again, in your own language, think about that. The person asks you in your own language, let's say, do you like ice cream? And you say, yes, I like. Really? Do you say that? No, you say, yes, of course, right? So you never say things in your own language like that without emotions. So try to bring exactly what you do in your own language to the English language. So in this way, you can understand the natural rhythm of the sentences, right? Of course, combined, all of this combined with richer vocab, see, and psychological engagement. What's the psychological engagement, by the way, teacher? Guys, the psychological engagement is when you, while you were speaking, okay, your listener not only understands you, but imagines what you're saying. See? Have you ever seen when you were talking to somebody, like, for example, telling a story, and the person is like this, like, because this person imagines what you're saying. And this is what you want to do. You want to make this examiner imagines what you say. See? So this person can feel the same emotions. It's like this person is there with you inside this little movie in your mind. Another question, let's talk about these. Do you enjoy reading? Yes, I like reading because it's good. See, I have students who answers like that. I have students who answer like that all the time. Yes, I like reading. It's good. Really? No. Do you enjoy reading? Yes, absolutely. Especially when I want to disconnect from social media. Because reading helps me focus and relax at the same time. See, you bring emotion, contrast. Of course, here you have a clear purpose, right? So, why do you read? I read because of this and that. Again, see? Because this and that. Yes, simple detail. Because of this and that. That's a perfect answer. And see, guys, the structure is too simple. Guys, what are the connectors here? Because and. See, you are more than able to come up with sentences like that. It's just about practicing. See? All right, guys, let's talk about this. So the examiner is human, guys. The examiner is not a machine, okay? So as human beings, right, they trust confidence. And that's what I was trying to explain you previously, right? Humans trust confidence. A confident speaker naturally earns credibility. But where, teacher? Everywhere. Everywhere. If you know how to speak confidently, people will believe in you because of your confidence, because of your posture, the way you speak. Of course, when it comes to IELTS and TOEFL tests, you get what? Higher scores. Even when making minor errors. Okay? Because your posture and your confidence is much more than that. So, if you don't have rhythm, if you don't bring emotions to your sentences, right? You sound flat and robotic. Humans don't like that. So, if you do that, you break the connection. So the connection, which connection, teacher, are you talking about? Any connection, guys, really. So if you're talking to your friend, let's say you're there sitting at a cafe with your friend and you're like a robot. See, think with me. You are there talking to a person and you ask, so guys, so tell me about you. Oh my goodness, I want to know. Do you like what do you do in your free time? Let's say something pretty simple. So, what are your hobbies? Uh, I just watch TV. Stop. And you look at the person and say, my goodness, this person doesn't say anything else. Even this person doesn't ask about me, right? So, guys, you break the connection if you communicate like this. See, in any place with anyone. So that's why this is essential for high band scores, because this is a natural communication. So when you were talking to somebody, so guys, so tell me, what's your favorite sport? And the person says, oh, okay, I like martial arts. Oh, really? So which time do you practice? So where do you go? So when you start to ask lots of things and this person start to talk and see the conversation flows. This is the natural thing, the natural situation. So that's why it's important to practice that. And of course, humans respond to emotion, guys. See, that's what I told you. When you were saying something with emotion, the person imagines what you're saying. So these examiners engage with the speaker, right? Who show emotion, intention, personal opinion, right? You were excited talking about something, or you're sad talking about something. This is important, okay? And this is, guys, I really like this sentence here. You are not being graded as a student, you're being perceived as a speaker. See? Keep this in mind. Moving forward, so why memorized answers destroy totally your score? Guys, because your brain under pressure, what happens? It freezes. See, when you are under pressure, you will probably forget some words, right? So it's hard to recall the words. See, so you forget these things. So you panic actually when you forget, right? The words, you panic. My goodness, now I don't remember anymore. So what I'm gonna say, right? So yeah, it will show. You will look really nervous. See, and then you try to overcorrect yourself, and then you try to, my goodness, now, yeah, it's not definitely Good. So you sound unnatural and robotic. See? So high bands, guys, come from controlled improvisation, not memorization. Okay? So you can control yourself. What is this, teacher? This control? Let me try to explain you that. Okay? Uh, it's, for example, while you were speaking, okay, you're thinking and speaking at the same time, right? Uh, and for example, you want to say something, you want to say an idea related to topic A, but you don't know actually how to express your ideas properly. See, but this is all inside your mind, what you were thinking. So I don't know how to say that. So what I do, I say another thing. See? So you were able to control what you're going to say. All right? Why is this so important? You may ask. Because in this way you avoid speaking incorrectly. So I don't know how to say that, so I'm going to come up with another idea. See, for example, the person asks you about your hobbies, right? And you have several hobbies, but you know how to speak about reading instead of, let's say, speaking about archery. You love both, but you can speak better about reading or English lessons, let's say. So while you were thinking, you need to choose, right? You need to pick one. So I know how to speak about reading, so I'm going to speak about that. So I want to give this reason, but I don't know actually how to use this word or that word. So I'm going to say this one. So this is being able to control what you're going to say. This is the high band guy, okay? High band student. So that's why what do? We train our brain to think flexibly, okay? Not to recite things, to think. And guys, I gotta tell you something. See, as I told you, I've been teaching for a while, and the problem I would say nowadays, okay, with most students is this lack of thinking. Okay, students are, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's because of AI or I don't know, technology. Guys, be careful. Okay, I'm going to stop here right now just to give you this tip. Thinking is important, so you can't stop doing that. So all the time, not only for your international exams, not only for your school, but for your life. So let's stop and let's think. See, I have students. I need to stop everything they're doing just to tell them, think. No, that's not how it works. Think about it. I don't know, I don't remember. No, stop, think. See, guys, you can't be lazy when it comes to thinking. You can't be lazy. This is all about thinking. And students normally ask, teacher, but how can I do that? How can I do this? How can I do that? Well, teachers, okay, keep this in mind as well. Audience. Teachers can't enter your mind, okay? Teachers can't go inside your mind to change your thoughts. This is totally on you. So if you don't want to think, I gotta tell you something. It's sad. It's sad because you have problems. And sometimes this is the only problem, okay? The only problem that keeps you away from your dreams. Dreams, when it comes to these dreams, when it comes to studying abroad, right? Uh, Finding work opportunities abroad, when you need to pass a test, when you need to take some scores. So all of these guys, without thinking, I gotta tell you, it's kind of hard. So let's train our brain first to think, then to connect ideas. You need to think and you need to connect ideas. So when you do that, you come up with your sentences, you come up with your speech, but you can't, let's say, you can't skip these steps. You can't. Okay? So let's talk about the strategic fillers. Okay, that's your secret weapon. So what are those, teacher? We talked about these before. Well, right? Well, guys, it's the way you speak with your friends. Oh, for example, in Portuguese, right? We say, "Ai, sabe." Hmm, that's how we speak. Well, to be honest, honestly speaking, so let me think for a moment, right? So these guys actually helps you control your thoughts, helps you reflect, and prevents panic, right? So you relax a little bit, right, on the chair. So, well, hmm, let me think. See? And also, these feeders buy you some time, okay? And these phrases show that you're thinking, not struggling. Struggling is, see? No. This shows you're thinking. So it creates confidence, right? Prevents this silence. Silence, by the way, damages your score, okay? So you can't be like, without saying anything. You got to come up with something. So that's why they help you, right? So while you were saying these sentences, you're thinking, you buy some time. So, guys, here's the high band formula for your speaking part one. This is key, okay? Take your notes there. The high band formula is answer directly. Always think about that, okay, guys? Some students have this issue. They never answer the question. They go directly to reason. No. Answer the question. Yes, I do. No, I don't. Absolutely. Of course. No way. Honestly, see? Bring about things like that. Then you give the reason. I like this. I'm totally into that. I dislike this because of this and that. So you gave two reasons, and then you can bring about the personal details. So it makes me feel like that, right? I feel like this. I help like that. I think like that, whatever. See, but you need to follow these. Guys, this is the simple formula. As I told you, there are tons of formulas, different formulas you can use while speaking. Okay, this is the simplest one. Okay, simplest one. So you can use this, you can practice this. So you can come up, you can just try out the IELTS books, see? So practice all of these questions using these formula, right? For example, here, this is the IELTS 716, sorry. Is summer your favorite time of year? Answer directly, yes or no. Reason why? Because of this and that. And when you are giving your reasons, bring a personal detail, something you really like about it. See, you enjoy about it. So, how do you feel? Or even future ideas related to summer, or even past ideas to compare past and present. See? So, this simple formula, this is too simple, can just unlock more than 1 point, I would say, band, right? For you. So you can improve your band instantly. Not to mention that we have when you have a formula, okay, and you practice this formula constantly, what happens is, guys, you you kind of get used to it. Okay, so while you're speaking on a daily basis, right, you're able to use this formula. All right. So, guys, look, another important key I would like to bring to this presentation, to this workshop today, is that you cannot, guys, believe me, build speaking confidence, okay, by just watching tips. Okay, so let's say you finish this live and, okay, now I can, I have confidence, or memorizing answers, or there is something as well I gotta say, is study silently. Okay, so guys, while you were studying, while you were reading things, you are reading passages, while you were listening, guys, read those things aloud, speak, study aloud. Okay, always speak. Don't just read the things without speaking aloud. Okay, speaking is practice. It's like going to the gym. I told you before in the previous section. You don't build muscle, guys, by watching workouts, by reading about workouts, or even thinking about workouts. How do you build muscles, guys? By repeating, failing, adjusting, and training again and again and again. So fluency is trained, not discovered. Believe me, fluency is trained, not discovered. So you must repeat this thing every day. Okay? You must adjust. Okay, I need to improve here and there. You will fail, but you will learn from this as well. So then you train again and again and again. So here you have your first formula. So train this thing. Open your IELTS book and answer all of these questions following this simple formula. Google more questions and practice, 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 and practice. Okay. So there's another thing I would like to say is that, guys, what students, most students do wrong. Okay, guys, they focus on advanced vocab, big grammar, okay, and perfect answers. That's what they focus on when it comes to part one, and that's not the key. So repeating myself as a broken record, okay. So instead, let's focus on part one, first impressions, flow, sentence flow, confidence rhythm, and natural delivery. Okay? So if you focus on that, yeah, you will get your 7+ band for sure. Okay? So let's go there now to the next one. I was hoping to have more time to show you something, but yeah, I will see how I can do that in my next live. So guys, you'll have some free bonuses for today. So if you want these bonuses, please drop a line there in our comment section. Okay. So you're gonna have speaking part one confidence scripts, 20 band 7+ model answers to practice, a first impression fluency drill, and a 7-day speaking activation challenge. Guys, every live, right, I give you challenges. And really, these challenges are just amazing. You can repeat these challenges, all right, to build more fluency. Okay. So, what's your next step, teacher? Tell me about my next step. So, again, if you're tired of sounding robotic, freezing in part one, staying stuck at band 6 and 6.5, well, it's time to change. And to learn how to train your brain, because that's what I do. What you gotta do, guys, is book your trial lesson with me today. Okay? Join my Score Boost program. join my lives here every Friday. Get access to exam strategies and speaking corrections, and that, guys, just stay tuned. Stay tuned because new things are just coming up. And train real confidence, okay? Not memorized answers, guys. So if you want all of these things, just drop me a line, okay? Talk to me, and we will find the best way, the best program for you, okay? Uh, so let me do like this, guys. Comment trial, okay? Trial lesson in the comment section below, okay? If you want to receive your bonuses, all right? On Instagram, you can send me a message there as well. Also, you can message me on Facebook or LinkedIn, all right? What I wanted to do is, guys, please remember, speaking is not about sounding advanced, okay? It's about sounding clear, confident, and real. If you train that, your score will follow naturally, okay? Believe this. And don't forget to think, all right? Let's think. Think about it. Think about it. There's a song like that. So thank you for being here, guys. Let's build your high band voice together. So see you next Friday. Bye bye.